Okay, we'll be moving on to SEM 2 now. I think I'll yeah, so this is where the second language thing pops up. You'll be having like two language papers in your first year. First would be your foreign language paper, and next would be your communicative English. Communicative English is kind of like the easiest paper ever. You are required to write a resume. You are required to write a letter to your superior, and sometimes it's about a prompt. So learning about all sorts of communication. Communicative English is like the easiest thing. You just have to all the words and then like focus it on the paper, and then while your English paper is done and your skills in, and like present the best paper out of all your classmates. And yeah, presentation and creativity plays a bigger role than the content. To be honest, the way you present the content also matters. Next subject is math. Yeah, you'll be having two math papers as well. The first sem you would have had calculus and linear algebra, and the second sem you will be having advanced calculus and complex analysis. Advanced calculus and complex sounds then and there, instead of like piling up everything till the exam comes. So I think piling it up and not working it out is kind of the biggest mistake I made. I was always procrastinating. I was like, okay, I'll do it in the exam. And when I attempted the exam, I was like just blank because I didn't like work it out properly. I didn't have like enough practice. I was just blank. So the sums were all wrong, and then the teacher was like, "Why are you doing this? What happened?" And she was asking me like, "What happened? Why can't you study? You used to study well." And then all sorts of things happened. So advanced calculus and complex analysis, you will be having that for like 4 credits, and so yeah, since it's a 4 credit paper, please perform well. Since I'm studying biotechnology, I had two core papers, cell biology and biochemistry. Cell biology is kind of a 2 credit paper, so you don't have to like put a lot of efforts into that. Membranes and all, transportation, and it deals with cell membrane, cell transportation, and other stuff. And moving on to biochemistry. Biochemistry is intimidating at first. We all thought it was. It was like the triple of second semester. We were all scared because it was like hard, because we didn't like study biology for like 6 months, and then we have something called biochemistry, which has a lot of like these big cycles with like big equations and all the stuff. We were like a bit intimidated seeing that subject at first, but when we tried to like focus and read it, it was a lot interesting than cell biology. To be honest, I liked biochemistry more than cell biology. Cell biology was like just theory. You just have to write, you just have to study theory, and you have to write about the given question. But as far as cell biology is concerned, you have to like draw the cycle, and you have to write the point based on what the cycle is, and then you have to write about the energetics. And yeah, cell biology was a bit easier compared to biochemistry. And then comes the Python and programming languages. Python and programming languages, aka PPS, it was a bit hard. So PPS was the one thing I found hard compared to so PPS was a bit hard for me because I didn't like study any computer science on my 11th and 12th grade. Some people who took pure science, they studied a little bit of Python, so it was a bit easier for them. So we had C and Python. So we had basic C and Python on my first year. So one guy who kind of helped me survive during this sem 2 is this guy. I'll be like posting his link on the video. So this guy, I think he kind of helped me like learn about all the concepts. It's not that the teacher was bad, it's just that I was kind of intimidated, like can I do this, like why am I studying computer science, kind of, it was like that. So I think I had computer science in my school, but I kind of like I have zero memory of like studying basic programming language on my school. But so when I went to college, it was like all blank. It was like, what is this? So all of the stuff we learned was basic, but it was a bit hard for me to like cope with all that. So I'm very thankful for this guy who helped me. I used to watch his videos before exams, and then I used to like write programs on my own, and then that somehow worked. And computer science is concerned, please try to grasp the concept and work harder if you're not a computer science student on it. And then the next topic that we're going to talk about is EG, one of my favorite subjects in SEM 2. EG was really interesting. So you will be having this software called AutoCAD. You'll be learning to work on that software. So every single week you will be learning about different set of commands to use, and you'll be building sorry, not building, you'll be drawing diagrams based on that. So every single week they'll give you this tutorial, and you have to like make a project out of it. So as far as EG is concerned, you'll be required to write a record. So yeah, so as far as age is concerned, make sure that you take out all your printouts early, because at last you won't be able to find all the project that you have saved and like taking it in. So as soon as you are done with your project, please take a printout of it and like store it in your file, so that it will be much easier on the lab. Uh, you'll be learning how to like make these 3D isographic, sorry, not isographics, you'll be making these 3D isometric drawings. EG was the class that I had a lot of fun. EG is kind of like on my top on the list of all the subjects that I studied. Talking about is physics. So you'll be having this paper called electromagnetic theory, wave mechanics, and waves. Yeah, as long as the name sounds, the subject is also very big. So one tip that I would give for the physics paper is that don't try to like grasp all the concepts. Just try to like focus on like uh, some important topics, like 3 to 4 topics, and focus on that, and do a lot of derivations. I'm damn sure, and on the point of exams, they'll for sure ask questions based on derivations. So instead of wasting your time learning theories, I would say that you can work on your derivations and you can score good marks. So physics is kind of like the chemistry we already discussed. On this physics paper, you will be having theory and practicals. So practical sessions is all again. So practical sessions, you'll be working in a group, and every single time you will be working on a different experiment, and make sure that you bring a lab coat with you. And one more thing that I forgot about the civil and mechanical workshop thingy, you will be required to like stitch like a blue and you will be required to like stitch a shirt and a pant. So make sure that you are ready for it, and if you are a hostel student, please make sure that you have stitched a dress for the civil and mechanical workshop. They'll be asking you to like make one in like weeks, and then you have nowhere to go. So as soon as you get the cloth material, please stitch your civil and mechanical dress, so it'll be very useful. And the next subject that we're going to talk about is general aptitude. General aptitude is the sequel of CDC that you studied earlier. General aptitude deals with quantum aptitude and also verbal aptitude. Verbal aptitude is kind of the uh, English counterpart to it. So you will be learning about word relations, word analogies, and you will be given worksheets, and you will be required to complete it. And The next thing is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning is kind of hard. Like sitting in your logical reasoning class is very hard. It will like blow your brains off. Tool is sorry quantum. It's not quantum aptitude. It's quantitative aptitude. Sorry. So quantitative aptitude is very hard. Like being in one of the classes is very hard. You'll be learning about ratios, cost price, selling price. You'll be learning about, not gonna lie, these questions are like very wild. They'll be asking you questions ranging from like what is the age of the boy to like find the cost price and selling price of the thing, and then they'll sometimes ask you questions like what is the direction of this boy sitting next to that girl and all that stuff. Those type of questions was very hard to like imagine. Most of
Gopal going in a car at 300 km per hour. I know nobody can go at that speed, but you know what? Gopal can. And of me at X km per hour. Nasama ponaven. And I am going to die in 5 seconds from now. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is calculate the initial velocity, final velocity, and the probability of me dying right under the lorry.
But will be about your exams and what are credits and what you should do and what how this works like. So you have to like carry the books from the college to your home or your hostel safely, and then like open your cupboard and lock it there forever because you're not going to be using your books. So as far as the exam point of view, you will be using the PDFs are way simpler, and also there are some teachers who provide you with like handmade notes. Those are also very helpful. As far as your first year is concerned, you will be using books at all for any matter. Like those like huge books that you see, you won't be needing any of them. And oh my god, I literally forgot to talk about the other two subjects that we have. So we had the subject called Constitution of India, and we also had the subject called Environmental Science. As you guys already know, these two subjects are zero credits, meaning that you won't be writing an exam for it on the semester. Meaning that you won't be writing an exam at an university level, but passing on this subject at like CTs, it's like important because they'll be mentioning that on your degree. So constitution and EVS, you don't really have to like, you have to put no effort on these subjects. You have to show up to the class and then like pretend that you are listening. So that's it. You will be relying on your PDFs or handmade notes that are given by your teachers mostly, rather than like opening a book and like scanning for all the information. But I actually used to study from my book for biochemistry. I found it like very easier than the PDFs. So that I would suggest you guys to like focus on the subjects with more credits rather than like focusing on the subjects with like less credits. So what I'm trying to say is there are subjects with 2 credits. So imagine if you are like scoring like 97, 95 in philosophy of engineering, and if you are like scoring like 60% or 70% of the marks in subject with higher credit like math or like chemistry, your CGPA will not boost, your CGPA will go down. So try to put more efforts on subjects with higher credits rather than like wasting your time with subject with low credits. I mean those credits also matter, but if you score less on the subject, it's not gonna like hit your CGPA that much. So as far as CGPA is concerned, try to maintain it above 8 or 8.5. That's what my senior said. So that I'm saying that to you guys. I'm saying that to you guys as well. You'll be having 3 internal tests in like 3 months. So on the first month of college, you won't be having any exams. After 1 month of joining the university, you'll be having your first internal assessment, and you'll be having two more like that. And those marks of those assessment will come into play that when you're writing your university level examination. So you have to score well on your internals. so even if you like mess up on your semester, it won't affect that much because you have good internals. So focus on your internals and make sure you write that well, and focus on the subject with high credits. That's where. And also don't try to forget that why you came here in the first place. So you can have a lot of fun, but when it comes to exams, you have to perform well, so that your teacher and your parents can also be like, oh yeah, they are doing well, and they won't really nag you for like not studying well and wasting their money. So make sure that you hang out with people who do that. And making friends in college can be kind of hard if you are a bit shy and introverted. If you don't really like, you have to go and talk to them rather than waiting for someone to talk to you. I think if so, I suggest you guys to interact for your first week, because no one is gonna judge you. No one is gonna judge you for like hanging out. No one is gonna know you how you were in your school. So, are a person who wants someone to like come up to you and speak to you, that's probably not gonna happen. So I suggest you guys to interact for your first week, because no one is gonna judge you. No one is gonna judge you for like hanging out. No one is gonna know you how you were in your school. They will make judgments eventually, but on the first week of your college, no one is gonna know about you. So I would like you guys to like go and talk to your classmates and make some friends. Just wave, say hi and wave and interact. As easy as that. Daunting task for many people, but it is important to be open and friendly to know people and to be comfortable in introducing yourself to others. Participating in clubs and organizations is a great way to like meet people who have similar interests to you. And also joining campus events and activities is also a good way to like meet people. A simple hello and a smile can go a long way, forming meaningful relationships. So ultimately, making friends in college is all about patience and being open to meeting a lot of people, and make sure that you have a good influence on them rather than the vice versa. Have friends, and if you don't have a friend group, it's going to be really hard on your first sem. I mean, eventually you will find your kind of people in second sem, but first sem is will be a bit lonely for you if you haven't made any friends. So to our next topic, bunking. So if I know that a lot of people who think that bunking is cool and you want to bunk classes and you want to hang out. Most of the times, if you guys bunk, you a message will be sent to your parents. Yeah, they'll send a message to your parents' phone saying that your ward is not here on the college, something like that. So make sure that you have an eye on that, and and make sure that you have an eye on your attendance percentage. If your attendance percentage is below 75 percentage, you will be uh, detained and you will be required to pay fine. And 1,000 rupees, I don't think anyone would want to pay 10,000 rupees for the college that already asks you a lot of money. So don't really get detained. If you get detained, you have to pay a fine, and you have to attend all the classes in the summer. Like you're not even allowed to like have a vacation if you are detained. So you'll be asked to like attend all the summer classes, and yeah, and then you'll be writing an exam after that, and then you will be passed. So instead of being in this chaos, you can like might as well attend your classes properly, and then write the exam in that way rather than like going to all these.
A few moments later.